I was in the Marine Corps from 2003 until 2007. I went in right after high school. I went in on an infantry contract. I ended up being a scout in 1st Light Armored Reconnaissance Battalion.
My military service consists of 10 years in the Army National Guard as a combat engineer. My primary detail was to look for explosive ordinances along terrain routes and rural routes in Afghanistan and Iraq.
Combat had its big stressful points to it, but at the same time there were some of the things we were doing over there, building schools. We were a big part of helping set up for the first democratic elections in Iraq, which was really, it was quite an experience.
I was injured in Afghanistan. My injuries were minor compared to some of my peers. I received shrapnel in my back and leg as a result of an RPG in a base attack.
It was about 7 years ago that I wanted to reach out to veterans, knowing that horses could provide little bits of joy and peace, and knowing that we had well-trained horses and awesome volunteers that we could reach out to veterans.
I found out about Freedom Farm through a mutual friend, and I decided to get in touch with Susie to see when the next opening was available. And she had instructed me to show up on a specific day, and then she introduced me to a horse of my choosing. I chose the largest horse that she had on the farm. His name is Irish. Currently living in a rural community, coming from an urban community where I didn't have much interaction with like horse or farm animals. It's nice to be able to get to know an animal such as a horse who is a whole lot bigger than you, on a deeper level, to learn how to ride them, to learn how to control them.
I found out about this place through a co-worker. I've been having some struggles and issues based on, just my time in and stresses and dealing with stuff. And some other people identified that I could probably use some help. So I came out not knowing what to expect from Freedom Farm. We were gonna pet the pretty horses and then go sit down and talk about whatever it was, which I was kind of cringing. That's what it was. And it was going to be very much a day one to tell me about your feelings and talk about it. And I got here and met Susie. I spoke to her on the phone and seemed like a very genuine person. And so I was like, okay, I'll go give this a shot. And I got out here and it was, hi, nice to meet you. Go get your horse and we're gonna do some stuff. We came in, we groomed the horses, did some free lunging. That was it. So there was no talk about any of that stuff, and there was not even really bringing it up. It was just, let's come here and work with horses, and then yeah, that's what we do. And that intrigued me a lot. And it intrigued me because I actually did feel a lot better.
Connecting with Irish has changed me, and understanding that sometimes the best way to go about controlling a situation isn't always 110%. Sometimes you need to take it a little bit at a time. You need to remain calm. You need to have patience.
Two parts of what I kind of figured out about what was making Free Farm work. And the first one was Susie. Not being a trusting person, as a lot of vets are, it's really hard to meet someone and immediately feel comfortable. She's doing this because she actually cares.
Susie is fantastic. She has the ability to communicate with veterans at a level where most civilians can't.
Part two, the actual work with the animals, helps a lot of us start rebuilding the mind-body connection. In the military, we're taught to break that. Your mind controls the body. When you're tired, it doesn't matter if you're going. If you're hurt, if you're not hurt, you have to keep going. And so the mind controls everything. It's not very healthy to keep that going for too long. It's very easy to be rough on the animals and muscle them around and get them to do what you want to do. They'll listen eventually, but that's not working with them, that's making them work for you. And the whole point of what we're doing here is actually learning how to work with the animal to ride better. And to do that, you have to be sensitive to what the animal's doing, you have to be sensitive to what you're doing. It helps you start reestablishing, having your mind pay attention to what your body's doing and how that affects something else, and it's a team effort.
Being with the horses is such a confidence booster. They're doing something new, they're learning something new. So we're kind of getting out of our same old routine of just daily living. And I think for some that I've talked to that have been here, that's all they're doing, is they're existing, but without a lot of purpose. And then we add working with another veteran. And to watch veterans helping each other truly is beautiful.
And there is an individual who is a veteran that comes here on Thursdays, and we do help him in mounting and riding, as well as keeping his horse calm. He is physically unable to do a lot of the activities independently, so he relies solely on help from individuals such as myself and others.
It takes us as a team to help him get him on the horse, and watching him improve is amazing. The first week we were holding him up, and in the second week he had practiced and worked on just being able to hold him, and he was sitting on top of the horse.
I remember the first day that this veteran got on Cassie, and he sat in the saddle, and the one veteran said, "I've got your back, Kevin." We're going to ask Cassie to walk on.
Giving back, being part of someone else's something, and being able to add value to something that someone does is a big part of my healing process.
I'm really appreciative of having the opportunity to be able to come out here and working with the horses. I don't think that this opportunity is something to shy away from. It's very rare, and the best way to take advantage of it is just by showing up every opportunity, every chance that you get.